All right, everyone. Well, welcome back to Hoop to Holler with Dylan and Walrus, aka the B-Ball Study Hall. We have a very, very special guest today,
Most
our
special.
fellow member of the Fellowship and also the host of the Counter Culture Sports podcast. Check those dudes out on YouTube, the one and only K9. Great to have you with us today, man.
Yo.
Yeah, what's up, OGs?
That's how he does it. Yeah, he gets that low. Yeah, good to see you, K9. Thanks for jumping on, dude. Thanks for having us too. Glad we get to chat some more hoops, man. How you feeling?
I feel nervous. I'm nervous about tonight.
You don't get nervous, K9. You get right. You don't get nervous. What are you nervous about?
I'm
Turnovers.
very nervous about this game because I feel like if San Antonio does take this game, it doesn't look good. I think the Knicks need to win this game tonight, but I'm sure we'll get into that. But just to answer your question, I am nervous.
Well, Walrus, you set this up right. The game four winner, you think takes the series? Do you do you
Yes,
uh
sir.
do you think K9 has a reasonability to have these nerves? I can see him sweating through that Porzingis jersey. No, you're good. You're good. Do you know he's sporting Porzingis, by the way? I like that.
Is that right? Yeah, no, I think K9 is correct. You know, as someone who is going to win series for Knicks
Walrus,
fans.
you're freezing out on us, Wally. Come back.
All right, hold on. You know what? Hold on here. Can you hear me now?
We got you, dude. Keep
All
going.
right, hold on. I'm gonna change. You know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go
Well,
down to the boulevard, as we say here. Okay. All right. You know what? You know what happens is we have all these freeway overpasses and such out here, and sometimes
tell
they're
us.
kind of creating dead zones. How right now? Am I coming through loud and clear as a bell?
Keep going, dude. We got you kind of.
Can you hear me?
Go
Can you
ahead.
hear me? Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, man. These LA streets, dude. So, anyways, yeah, I think that K9 is rightfully concerned for the Knicks because clearly Uncle Mo decided to hop into the Spurs camp yesterday, and that dude Wembanyama, man, he started taking it down low, attacking the basket, and if he's going to play like that, if the Spurs are going to play like that, they're hard to beat. And I mean,
You called for that,
look,
Wally. That's what you wanted to see, right? You want to see a little more paint presence with Vic, and
of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
of course. I mean, look, let's go ahead. I think we mainly want to discuss this game tonight, but let's maybe do just a little bit right on what happened in this previous game. So K9, what for you was the reason? There's always more than one, but like if you had to kind of put your finger on one particular thing that happened
The
in
pulse.
that last game, which caused the Knicks to lose, what would you say it was?
I think I got to blame the refs on this one, man.
Oh, don't do it, K9. Don't be that guy.
Listen,
Come on, man.
listen. Victor Wembanyama chokeslammed Jalen Brunson,
Yeah,
and
give him
not
that force.
one.
Give him
I,
that
I
force.
didn't see a tech. I didn't see a flagrant. I think there's a lot of. I think the conspiracy theories could be true on this. If
Oh man.
Wemby got another flagrant, he wouldn't be able to play tonight, and the finals would be over.
Yeah.
NBA couldn't have that. Silver couldn't have that. We couldn't have that. I think. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. It should have been a flagrant. It should have been a tech. The Knicks lost by 4. That's not the only reason why. I'm just trying to start shit.
Yeah.
But Karl Anthony Towns having no points in the fourth quarter. He had one assist the whole game. I think that is probably the main reason why. I mean, I've been saying it this whole postseason. Since they've made Cat more of a point forward, more of a joker role, he was averaging 6-7 assists a game. The Knicks were unbeatable. He kind of went back to that spot shooting, playing down low more, not as much of a point forward. And as you can see, he only had one assist. He had 0 points in the fourth quarter. I don't know what Mike Brown was thinking in that game with that, but I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, he hasn't scored in the fourth quarter in all 3 games, I think. K9, not just
Correct.
game 3.
50
Yeah.
points through the first 3 quarters, over 3 games, zip in the fourth quarter.
But I think that's a little bit of cause and effect of the problem. The issue here is who can create besides Brunson? So you get to the fourth quarter, and Brunson's getting checked by Castle or Harper or Vassell or Champagne, and he's getting locked down, and he's still getting off some decent shots, and then he's got Vic on the back line. Who can OG get it? OG seems like he can attack a little, but he doesn't seem to touch it a lot. Like when he has the ball, good things happen. Haven't gone to him a lot. Where is Cat? Is Cat demanding the ball? Is he trying to get the ball? Are they trying to run anything for him? Or is it kind of like he just gets out the way and lets Brunson try to work his magic, which did work in games 1 and 2, right? Brunson hit some big shots, and they got to the finish line. But he shouldn't have got teed up for that. I mean, he's getting held. To me, it's so ironic that this city that is the grit, the toughest city in the U.S. is crying about referees. Like, I mean, this is maybe the Victor imprint of all things. His game, of course, has been pretty on point. A little up and down, but like pretty on point. But whether it was the Nas Reed elbow, whispering those sweet nothings into Bismack, and who's the Kelly Olynyk? Yeah, Plumlee. Yeah,
the other white guy, the other big white guy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's practicing these dark arts, and he wants to win, and he doesn't care. And so, like, yeah, you can clip that clip, and he's for sure shoving Brunson's head down, and Brunson. But before that, he's getting held. He's getting held every play. I don't know. Maybe it's a technical. Maybe it's a flagrant. I don't know. I don't think that
maybe. It's not a maybe.
No. He should have gotten a flagrant 1. It could have been a flagrant 2. If it was a flagrant 2, he would have been suspended for tonight because he had the flagrant 2 before. That's those 2 points. Apparently, the system wasn't really familiar with that. And if it was a flagrant 1, he then would be at risk if he got one tonight of being suspended for game 4. But you're saying, Dylan, because I want to stick to this question, you're saying that it was Cat kind of fading, into the background. That's why they lost that game. That's what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying, the reason they lost is because Castle's a man. That's the reason they lost.
Okay.
Castle is a force on defense, and offensively, he hit those 2 free throws. He hit that 3. He did enough. He got where he wanted. He kicked it out. What I'm saying, Wally, the singular reason is the Spurs have put their imprint of dominance on game 3. Can they do it game 4? Like, it's MSG. You're at home. Where was the confidence for the Knicks? They came out and looked shook, didn't they? They turned it over right away. Like, they looked rattled.
Those early turnovers were killer.
Yeah, and they're the veterans, right? So the youthful Spurs took their energy out of their building. So that's what I think game 3. So who brings that game 4? What do you think, Wally?
So for me, before we move on to game 4, there's a lot of things that you could point to. Like I said before, the turnovers as far as the Knicks had early, those count in terms of the end of the game. But really, like, what I put my finger on is Mikal Bridges just completely disappearing in that game. You need to get at least 10 points out of that guy.
Yeah.
And he, I think, scored 5, and he only shot the ball twice. Like, they were lamenting about it on the broadcast. Yeah. So, yeah, he needs to show up. Cat needs to show up in the 4th quarter. So tonight, let's talk about this game tonight. So Knicks are up 2-1. And, I think it's more of a game the Spurs need to win than the Knicks because only the LeBron Cavs in 17, right, or 16 rather, came back from 3-1 in the finals.
Draymond technical, yep.
But I really think that if the Knicks lose tonight and it's a 2-2 split going back to San Antonio, that's going to require the Knicks to win a 3rd game in San Antonio.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a heavy lift. So for me, tonight, if the Knicks are going to win this game, Cat needs to go back to that facilitation role, but he needs to bring it in the 4th quarter. I don't see how they're going to be able to win another game without that dude at least providing something in the 4th quarter. K9, what do you think needs to happen tonight for the Knicks to win?
Well, a big reason why I thought Cat not scoring in the 4th in game 3 was pretty bad was because in games 1 and 2, the Knicks bench scored.
Yeah.
If you look at game 3, the Knicks bench did absolutely nothing.
And
I know a lot of us joke around about Landry Shamet,
but
right.
Shamet
was kind of like, the star, honestly, almost of game 1 and 2. And in game 3, he had 3 points, went 1 for 8. I mean, they weren't spacing the floor. It didn't look good. Nobody really did anything on the bench besides Jordan Clarkson. And, other than him, nobody on the bench did anything. So.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, K9. And that spacing, that shot making, then opens things up for Brunson, right? I mean, that's huge. That's a great point. So you want Cat to carry some of that burden, Walrus, just like K9's carrying us tonight on this. You want him to put some of that weight on his shoulders. There's two trends happening, Walrus, in this series: the turnover differential and the assist differential. And they're both swinging from the Knicks to the Spurs. So in other words, the Knicks are turning the ball over more, less assists, and the Spurs are turning the ball over less, more assists. And that's kind of an indicator of easy offense, right? Like, it's not everything, but if the ball's going in, it adds to you setting up your defense. There's a little more flow. To me, even the eye test, the Spurs have had an easier shot creation through the whole series. They just made like terrible mistakes game 1 and 2 late with bad turnovers, but like they get back into these games, and then I think K9's right. Then it comes down to like which role player is going to hit a few shots to get you over the hump. And I don't know. Think about this, Walrus. Throw it back to you on this. Madison Square Garden, game 4. The fans are kind of, at this point, it's been 50 years. They're used to losing there. Is that fair to say, K9? Like, there's almost this like consistent, like, oh, it's gonna happen. The avalanche of the negativity is gonna happen. If they win tonight, they truly are breaking like that curse, almost that hex. What do you see that happen more so, Wally, or do you see this young Spurs with this freak and Castle doing their thing? I mean, like, how do they do it? I guess is what I want to see. Is it Brunson?
I think it has to be him. Yeah, I mean they clearly looked. How can I say this? They clearly looked to me like they were feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
Playing in MSG up 2-0, right? And everyone's like, "This is the Knicks to lose."
Carefree.
Yeah, they were not playing carefree. I think that's part of what those turnovers were about.
And tonight,
yeah.
I mean, K9's already nervous. K9's sweating bullets. Like, one thing about Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is one of, what's the right word? Like, would you call it?
He's emotional. He's very emotional.
Is he a tough guy?
He is not a tough guy.
Okay. Is he courageous when pressure hits? Sometimes he kind of is. Sometimes he kind of is, and sometimes he can kind of be tough. Like, so we know Brunson is stone cold, right? Like Brunson is a killer in the clutch, but Brunson didn't look real good last game. I don't know.
They lost their connectivity in that game, and we have to, but we have to remember, like K9 brought up earlier, it was a close game. These have all been close games. The Knicks won by 10 in game 1, but that just got bumped at the end.
3-0. It could be 3-0 either team, which is kind of wild.
It could be. It could be. I think what the Knicks need to do tonight is, try to play a little looser, than they did in this last game, because they were clearly playing tight, and just kind of do their thing. Now to flip it to the other team, the Spurs, who I think are arguably the better team in terms of the talent that they have available. Obviously, you have the alien, and there's nothing like him in the planet, on the planet, I should say, in the universe. Who knows? Maybe on some other planets. But that guy, if they're going to win tonight, they have to do, as far as I'm concerned, they have to do what they just did yesterday and get that dude heading towards the basket, at least some. If they revert back, the Spurs meaning, if they revert back to trying to win this game on the perimeter, if they're hitting their shots, they could do that. Yeah. But games 1 and 2 showed me that it's a young team. This is a high-pressure situation. If they go back to that, I think the Knicks have a real good shot at winning this game tonight. If they're going to play Wemby going downhill at least a good portion of the game, I think it's going to be hard for the Knicks to beat that team. And I don't know if they actually end up winning another game if Wemby's determined to play like that. Let's go to K9 on this. K9, but you could go all freaking day long. Okay,
I'm throwing at K9. I'm throwing at K9.
What do you think of the Spurs?
Let's ask you. Yeah, you mentioned Landry Shamet, hitting some shots. Okay, and then one of you mentioned Mikal Bridges. How about OG and Josh Hart? Like, those are the dudes that can play with force. And OG's had a couple like slip dunks on Wemby in his face too.
Yeah.
How do you get those guys going? Josh Hart, 15 rebounds that first game. How do you get back to that?
I think game 3 for the Knicks was more of the Jalen Brunson show and not the New York Knicks. I honestly think Brunson probably played his best game out of all 3. I mean, statistically, if you look at it, he did. He shot the best in game 3. But for the Knicks to win, it can't be the Jalen Brunson show.
Team, huh?
It's got to be the team. Yeah. And I honestly, I hate to say it, but I feel the same way about the Spurs. I mean, you look back to game 3, Wemby had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, plus minus of +7.
Yeah.
I think Wemby can do that every game, but I think the difference in game 3 was his supporting cast was so much better. I mean, as you brought up Castle, 23 points, probably one of the best games I've ever seen Castle play. And then someone that popped out to me too that I haven't seen this whole postseason, this guy was the 6th man of the year in Keldon Johnson. Yeah, I mean, he only played 17 minutes, but he had a plus minus of +14. Played great defense, was hustling up and down the floor. I was wondering where this guy's been because he's 6th man of the year, and I haven't seen anything of it. until this game 3. So
It's a good
I
call.
think for the rest of these finals, it's going to come down to supporting cast. And when it comes to the Knicks, Cat is the leader of that supporting cast, and I think he's got to step up big in this game.
It's well put. Wally, I'm waiting for you, man. I'll jump in, but I'm laying out for you here, Wally.
So you think about game 1, how you get Cat. I was honestly shocked to see how easily he got past
That's
Wemby driving to the basket
and held up defensively too.
Yes, absolutely. So, like for me, you've heard me say this many times. And K9, when we've been on with you on the Counterculture Sports podcast, I've mentioned this I think at least once. Basketball is a psychological game. It really is. And I think what the Knicks did in that first game was psych out the Spurs. And then in game 2, it was very close, but also the Spurs, I think, kind of lost the edge. That went the other way in this last game. So regardless of what Cat is doing, whether it's passing out of the high post, putting on the floor, trying to drive to the basket, they have to have that kind of aggression. If they don't have that, I just don't see how they're going to be able to beat the Spurs the way the Spurs were playing in game 3. OG, that dude I think has been pretty consistent. He's been money in the corner. Yep. Like you said, he's had these drives where he kind of stops, right, and a jump stop,
quick
gives maybe 1-2 pump fakes, right? Yep. So, yeah, Hart's not a guy you can rely on with the shot, so he's got to grab those boards. He kind of faded away a little bit in this third game. I agree with K9. It's going to come down to the supporting casts, but who's going to be able to put their team over the top?
Yeah,
Brunson did that game 1. Wemby did that game 3. Game 2 was kind of a wash. My bet is on Wemby. I just think that guy now has his first finals win. Everything that was happening outside the building with the Knicks fans going after Spurs fans, this really despicable stuff, really disappointing. I have a feeling the Spurs are going to take that personally. I certainly would, I think the Knicks are going to have a hard time winning this game tonight. They certainly can. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Spurs figured something out yesterday, and it's as simple for me, again, is that you got a 7'4" dude who has a real motor, who can get the ball up above everyone's head. Cat's a decent defender, but come on, he's not like some super defender. If he's going to do that, the Knicks better be hitting their threes. It's just that simple. And I don't know if they're going to be able to hit enough to beat Wemby and the Spurs if they're playing like that. What say you, my man on the Great Plains?
Yeah, just say, like, here we sit, you guys. Isn't it weird to think a home team is yet to win? Like this is a very, very strange series.
Pretty wild in the finals.
Yeah, and you're both have kind of said it, like which team is going to capture the series and do that is like who can actually harness their crowd's energy. Does it even matter, or is it almost better and less pressure when you just get to play a little carefree, and like you don't have that every miss the crowd kind of staring down on you. I mean, these are professional athletes, and the other thing, if we peel it back a little bit, is like youthful ignorance versus bet savvy is kind of a thing. Sometimes you don't know any better. I don't think Castle knows any better. I think Wemby is built for this moment. I think Dylan Harper knows any better. Like, given he's grown up in the NBA with his dad, but Brunson is battle tested. He's a winner. Cat is nuanced. K9, I'll kick it back to you because I think Cat kind of is the key, and I appreciate how far he's come in his career, and the respect. But we were ready to anoint him as MVP after games 1 and 2, and then kind of a no-show game 3. He's a hard dude to hitch your trailer to. K9, I'll throw it to you on this. I think you were right about the whistle. If they can get Wemby in some kind of foul trouble or Castle, that is huge. And the early bonus for game 3 was big because the Spurs went to the line early. That was massive. So I think foul trouble, the whistle. I would think the refs are going to call it kind of tight after that Vic on Brunson stuff, just to not let things shake out. What do you see happening there? How much does the whistle matter, you think?
Obviously, I think the whistle matters a lot. I mean, they had no problem calling a technical on Josh Hart when he got up and pushed Cornette. Yeah, you would expect the same in return when Wembanyama chokeslams the smallest dude on our team. I mean, let's be honest. And they didn't do it.
On our team. Did you catch that?
Yeah. He's acting like he broke his neck. I like it. He's in. K9's in, dude. K9's
so
in.
I definitely see it being a big factor in this game, man. I mean, are they, if the Spurs do get in foul trouble, they're going to start the Hacker Robinson bull crap. I went off
He's been his
about
on
that on my
track, hasn't he?
podcast.
Robinson's
Dude, he's been better with the broken pinky. They should have broke that thing a long time ago.
both of them. Break them both. That's true. Yeah. Castle will pick up some stupid fouls. You know, like that is his kryptonite a little bit. Like if you can go to him a little bit, but he plays so physical. I'm surprised Brunson hasn't used his dark arts to draw a little more fouls than he has. But they have let him play. Like Castle's also got fouled sometimes. They let those go too. It's been pretty physical both ways, really. I think.
I think they're going to call it really tight tonight. I think it's going to be a really tightly
that favors the
ball
Knicks.
game.
I think that favors the Knicks.
Possibly, yeah.
I think
Although,
young
who do you
dumb
think's
fouls.
who do you think's a better free throw shooting team? Because I don't
Probably a
have
wash.
the stats in front of me.
Probably a wash.
I think it's the Spurs, particularly because I mean, look, Brunson's really good. Wemby's really good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about these finals is that it's been really close.
Yeah, both games been great.
Really close. So it's really like a play or two that could make the difference.
Yep. I think the play or two are the bad timing turnovers. That's been the difference.
Of course.
Like who
that was the difference in that last game for sure.
Yep. And then a timely knockdown. Fox finally hit that shot at the end. Fox has been pretty terrible, but he finally got that bucket at the end. So like that's where I guess I will hang my hat on Brunson. Like if it's close with a minute left, is there a guy you'd rather have the ball than Brunson? Because the Spurs can't create like Vic can't create his own shot. We've seen him struggle when they need a basket at the end. I actually think Castle is their best creator, and he's dangerous, right? He might turn it over. It's kind of hit or miss, but Brunson, so if it's close, minute left, I think your Knicks got it, K9, but you got to be in the fight to get there. That's where I'm a little nervous for you.
I agree. I think Brunson's the second most clutch player in this league. I think number one, and he's proven it, is Tyrese Halliburton. That's the only other person I wish would have the ball other than Jalen Brunson for a last shot. And I mean, Halliburton proved that last year. But I mean, obviously in this series, Brunson, you got to go with Brunson.
It's a good call. Yeah.
Let's do some predictions here. What do we think is going to happen tonight? Let's start with our guest, K9. I know you're nervous.
I'm very nervous.
He's good. He's good to go.
Wally, I think whoever wins this game tonight is going to win the series. I'll be honest with you. I think if San Antonio wins it tonight, San Antonio is going to lock this up. I wouldn't bet against the Knicks, but I would be tempted to bet it on the Spurs to win the rest of the series. I think the Knicks got to close out this game tonight. They got to win this game at the G, go up 3-1. I think the Spurs are almost penciled in for game 5 at home. I really don't see the Knicks winning that game. I think it's going to come down to game 6, and that's why I predicted the Knicks in 6. They're going to have to close it out at the G, and if they don't close it out in game 6, then I think San Antonio takes it at home in game 7. So I definitely think the Knicks, it's a must win tonight. I think the Knicks have to win tonight, and if they lose, I'm sorry, Knicks fans, but I think it's over, unfortunately.
Man.
It'll be the first time in history a team on the road went to up 2-0 and they blew it. But let's be honest, and as you said earlier, Dylan, it's kind of a Knicks thing. It's kind of a Mets thing. Yeah. It's kind of a New York thing. And it just is what it is. Like, if one team was going to do it, it would be the Knicks. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen. I have the Knicks winning tonight. They're favored by 2.5. I have it being a close game. I think this game could go to overtime even. I think it's going to be that close. It's going to be a late turnover or a buzzer beater, something like that. It's going to be a close game at the end. But I got the Knicks winning by 3.
Cool. Sounds exciting.
Give us a score.
I'm going to go 113-110.
That's a good
score. And usually I would say San Antonio would win the game if San Antonio scores 110 points. But I think the Knicks got to show up tonight. I don't think Shaman's going to go 1 for 8 again. I think Cat's going to put on a better performance. I think they're going to get more help from the bench tonight. I mean, as we said for games 1 and 2, we kept talking about how the Knicks had all this rest. And they did. They didn't play for almost like a month? Like, it was crazy. And they went into game 1 and 2 and they stole them. But in game 3, they did look fatigued. The bench didn't play as well. You know, they were getting stupid fouls. And I think they're going to be better rested tonight. And that's a big thing for the Knicks. But, yeah, man, I think 113-110 Knicks.
It's good. Yeah, 45 days, I think, without a loss. Like, the Celtics had lost more recently than the Knicks. You know, I think even the Suns had lost more recently. So, yeah, how do you respond?
It was like 2 weeks. It wasn't a month, but it seemed like it.
How about you, Wally?
So I got the Spurs win tonight. I'm thinking it's probably going to be within 5. If I had to give a prediction, think it might be very similar to this last game. I would go probably like a 109, 104 score. I just think that after, getting that win in Madison Square Garden with all the stuff that was going on, having their fans getting assaulted outside, having the Shaolin 7-4 train alien. I mean, and also, K9 brought up earlier about the supporting cast. Champagne has just refused to stop being on fire. Like every time they pass to that dude and he puts up a shot, as long as he's not like fading like he was. I think it was in the Western Conference Finals, or maybe it was 1-2 games here. I just assume he's going to hit the shot. Vassell is a real barometer. If he's playing well, it's hard to beat that team. And then Dylan Harper. Like, I think the guy might try to get, into the 20s tonight. He certainly can if he gets to the basket enough. I think the Spurs are going to win tonight. I think it is more of a must win for them because going down 3-1, having to win 3 in a row, 2, including one more in New York. But yeah, no, I think the Spurs are doing it. And I think the Greg Popovich being in New York in the building, I think that was huge. Huge. Again, psychological, man. It's hard for the guy to like just be sitting in a chair, and getting along. Makes a trip to New York. I mean, I think that played a big role.
We're all going to fulfill our self-prophecy. I had Spurs in 7. I think the road team continues to win until Game 7, and the Spurs finally close out at home. Spurs, that's the irony is we're all saying like Game 5 they're going to go back and win at home. Nobody's won at home yet, so let's see it. Let's see who can win at home first. I mean, what a weird series. Like we always say, a series doesn't start till the road team wins. The series doesn't end until the home team wins.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. So
I love that. Very poetic.
Enjoy, fellas. K9, thanks for jumping on. I hope your sweat turns to joy, dude, for your sake. But I'm sorry, man. It's going to be the Spurs tonight, dude. It's going to be Castle. Just wait.
See, man.
Here he comes. All right.
Knicks in 6, baby.
All right, K9.
6, there you go.
Appreciate
Great having you on, K9, man. Great. Yo!
Yo!